Hello and welcome all to Season 2 of the Spooky Spooky Horror Show. I'm your host, Sean. I'm here with Anthony, and today, Anthony will be trying to convince me that the 2021/2022, we're still up in the air about that, found footage horror film, The Last Radio Call, is not a one-star film. But before we get into that, Anthony, how has your week been?
I mean, it was slow. We had snow and rain Monday into Tuesday, Thursday into Friday into Saturday. So it's been fun. It's cold.
It was Friday you had hail or just freezing rain?
Oh, I was on the phone.
That was hitting the window.
Dude. Oh yeah, it was last night. I was fucking like, what the hell? I can hear it through my fucking headset. I was like, Jesus.
God damn.
But yeah, no fun.
Same for me. Editing, watching movies, stuff like that. I do need to now replace the gazebo in the backyard.
Why?
You know how we had like the canvas
Did it fall down?
thing? No, we had rain 2 days ago that lasted for like 2 hours, and the wind blew just hard enough to push the center stand for the roof over, and it stabbed right through. So the roofing for it like went concaved, and it looked like nut sacks and shit. So yeah, that's got to be replaced. But yeah, that's it. This week has been like oddly slow and boring. But yeah, let's talk about some production facts. I don't have many. The Last Radio Call.
I don't understand why.
Well, it's short film, like from what I've seen, because like the writer director has a YouTube channel for his production company, and he has like 6 years of short films on his YouTube channel.
That's actually that's a lot.
Like he's listening to an interview he did. He's been doing it for like 13 years. So like he has a lot of stuff, and he's just now going into like making feature-length films and everything. But so for this, The Last Radio Call was written and directed by Isaac Rodriguez, and it stars Sarah Froelich, I want to say.
Don't rely on mine.
No, I'm just saying
Froelich. Terrible
Froelich.
Pronunciation of words.
Does that look right as I'm saying it?
Why is it not letting me pop up?
It won Best Horror Film Indie Fest in 2022.
Yeah.
And that's about it. So with that and a runtime of 76 minutes, let's get into the plot. Yeah, just 76 minutes.
Wait, this was only 76 minutes?
It feels like it with some of the points. Like they're just dragging it on.
Longer.
Like that whole, like towards the end, they give you like a mini documentary on the Yorktown Memorial Hospital, which is a real hospital. Like Ghost Adventures goes there. The dudes from BuzzFeed
always go to and shit.
Brian Bergara and Shane Madej. They're BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural, I think it is. They've been there, and then as Watcher, I think they've been there too. Achievement Hunter has done with their ghost hunting show. They've been there. It's like everyone goes there. You can sign up for like a walking tour of the place. But at a certain point in the movie, though, you get like this weird like documentary.
Oh my God. That'd be kind of cool.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this for? Is this something like the owner wanted put in?
Yeah, it's like it feels like they were starting to go that way. Yeah, they started to go that way, but no one kept going with it. But you never addressed it.
Happened in the beginning, but then there's a woman doing the voiceover, and I don't think that woman is Sarah. I think that's a completely different person. Which then makes it more confusing because like we know two women in this entire movie. We know Sarah, and then we know the 911 caller person. Then there's a whole other person, and you're like, who the hell is this person?
And then you hear a whole different person's
this
voice.
Woman was walking around, and she was the one like talking
to
Sarah
you on your toes,
and doing
don't
stuff,
you know?
and then getting it. That would have made. But I was like, I don't know. But that's not till later. Oh, and my camera fucking froze again. God damn it, man! Everyone wave.
Okay. Hey ho!
I have no idea when I froze. I don't. It's like after that blue screen, like everything's kind of fucking weird. Anyway, now I'm gonna have to keep like looking over just to see if I'm frozen. But yeah, so the film opens with body cam footage of Officer David Serling of the Yorktown Police Department. David and his partner are in. What's up?
No, I said Yorktown.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's all.
David and his partner, they are, before we know anything that's going on, just by seeing it, I assumed it was Yorktown Memorial Hospital, and then later I'm proven that's what it is. It's suspected to be haunted. Footsteps and bales are heard echoing throughout the hallways, and they decide to split up. I don't know why they decided to split up. That to me seems like
because
a
every
stupid
dumb
reason.
idea starts with, "Hey, let's split up."
It's like, no, we should stick together. That's how that should work. Like, we don't separate. There's some video artifacting, and they separate. David heads towards the I wrote churchy area because I could not remember what the fuck it's called.
Churchy area?
The chapel, the hospital chapel. That's what it's called. I had to ask the wife. I was like, what the fuck? Because like almost all hospitals have a chapel.
Yes. And they also have a kosher lounge or whatever it is for the Jewish people.
Yeah. So he starts reciting the Lord's Prayer. That's not going to work. Walking, he finds a casket in the chapel. I almost forgot the name of it again. When he goes up to it, he's distracted by a loud bang. Cut to his partner, Giles. I almost called him Giles. Giles Ali's body cam.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Walking down the hallway, a lot of the rooms are blocked off by chicken wire. I'm assuming that like they didn't really do much set dressing for this. I'm assuming it was just
it doesn't look like that at all.
The hospital has those boarded up. They don't want people going into them, so it just stays like that. And you know, they were just like, fuck it, just leave it and fucking go.
Hey, it's easy and works.
Yeah. Giles comes across a mannequin head on the ground and he freaks out. I'm sure this head is supposed to be a real human head, but
I was gonna say that looks like a human head.
Yeah, no, it looks like a mannequin head. It doesn't look like a real human head.
But I think that they were implying it was a real human head.
Yeah, I think that's what they were implying. But there's no blood, there's no hair. It's just a head. And I was like, okay, because like he saw it and then like had a nervous fucking breakdown and started running, screaming for David. But David is apparently trapped in a locked room screaming for help, but his camera gets all glitchy and cuts out, and then we get the title card.
Dun dun dun!
So it's been about a year since David disappeared, and Sarah, David's wife, has been drawing him as much as possible to not
remember him.
She's been drawing him as much as possible to not keep his face fresh in her mind, but like his essence or something like that, because she's like, photos are too real for her to draw him, so she wants to remember how he was. Yeah, but
so she's basically trying to draw it from memory.
Yeah, but like, if your art is anything to go off of, because we haven't seen David's face yet, if your art is anything to go off of, David looked like a monster. You are not a good artist. That's terrible drawings. I want to remember how he was. Down. A monster?
Maybe that was her viewpoint on him. Maybe she didn't think of him in a nice light. He is a cop. I'm just saying.
I mean, she's very upset that he's missing.
Well, I don't understand the whole situation. So she knew that they were going into this whole entire thing, and he just up and disappears, and just assumes that's where it's at. The wife?
No, she didn't know he was going there. It found out that they went there through the course of her trying to get him. But that was like after. Like, she didn't know that he went there, and then like demons or ghosts were the reason he disappeared. There's just he disappeared.
Oh no!
Found out where
she
they
found
last
that
were
out on her own.
Yeah, and then the cops basically froze her out. So
yeah, because they were trying to cover that up.
Yeah. So
like, we can't really say a bunch of fucking demons killed your husband, because then we'd have to admit that.
The Red Witch got him. She contacted the documentary crew to see if they're interested in making a film about this unsolved incident, and of course they are, because these things are fucking cash cows.
Of course.
She's not
People
holding
like
it.
us constantly watch this.
Yeah. She's not holding it together. She wants to.
Of course.
She wants help to piece things together, and then she can move on. At least that's what she's saying. I don't believe this bitch will ever move on, no matter what happened.
No,
at all.
It's not this happening. Is her life now. This is her essence, is to find this out. People like that will even find it out and still continue looking, because they refuse to get. Oh well, I finished the case. No, it sucks though.
That's not how that works. A single bottle of booze is seen in her wastebasket. Like, the camera crew makes. Well, I can't even say camera crew. I'm pretty sure it's just a person with the camera.
Someone someone fucking filming it.
I contacted one person to make a documentary. It's like, all right. But yeah, they make sure to zoom in on
Someone said yes.
So they made sure to zoom in on a bottle of booze in her wastebasket. So I'm guessing this is supposed to indicate that she's a drunk. But what really throws me for a loop is that it looks like she's sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, it does look like she is.
Right?
I saw that too.
She keeps pestering the cops. They're freezing her out, but somebody leaked some footage online, and she's hoping that by doing this documentary, that the people that know more will reach out with more information about what happened to her husband.
Yeah.
I hate.
Sure.
Hate. Capital H, capital 8. Every time something like this happens, it's, oh, someone leaked it. They didn't leak it. It just went online. Like, no one really cares.
It's not a leak.
Like, what? It's
someone put it there and it was found. Like that, no one goes like, I'm going to chainmail it to somebody.
Yeah, it's like the edgy way to say it. And it's so fucking stupid. And I don't like any part of it. Yorktown, Texas, Sarah goes to harass the former coworker of David's, not the partner, just a coworker. He was working the night David went missing and then quit a month after and has never tried to reach out or speak to her. Why would he?
You're acting kind of crazy. Yeah, you're acting kind of crazy. You're not going
even if she wasn't acting crazy,
calmly.
Why is he required to fucking reach out for you? He worked that night. Okay.
Oh, it's that fucking blue line code and shit. Oh, you gotta check out, you know.
20 other cops were probably working that night, at least. This is one that quit. He probably just was like, yeah, I'm done with this shit, and quit.
I'm good.
Like, why would he reach out? Like, that doesn't make any sense. He opens the door and is immediately greeted with Sarah yelling at him. Like, you realize that? She's like, I just want to talk to him. And then he opens the door and sees it's her. And it's like, why won't you tell me what's going on? What's going on?
Immediately.
I'm like, I will shoot you in the face. Get off my property. What are you doing? Castle Doctrine. Get off. Leave.
Like, why are you coming at me hostilely? Like, I want to actually help you do anything.
That's really going to make me want to talk to you, you know? Having me open the door and you start fucking yelling and cursing at me. That really makes me want to sit down and have a fucking dialogue about what happened to your husband. He tells her to seek therapy and for them to get off his property. She looks at the camera and she's like, see, they're hiding something. No, bitch, you're just screaming at people and yelling, tell me what you know. Of course they're gonna push you away. You're fucking psycho. That's the only reason.
You're not giving anybody the reason to like help you.
It's the main reason I can't get behind Sarah as like the protagonist of this. Like, she's just a fucking psycho. I understand your husband's missing. You want to know what happened, but fucking
you also got to not be
yelling
a dick
at people.
About it.
Yeah, like screaming and yelling at people isn't gonna like fucking like help your situation.
Help you.
None of that gets people to come to your side. Yelling and screaming and pointing
Especially when
fingers.
You're just like a random person. You're not a cop. You're not a detective. You're just like some random person. How do I know you're the fucking widow? Unless you're talking to the coworkers. How do I know who you are? Why are you like starting shit?
Yeah. After she gets thrown off that dude's property, she then heads over to Giles's house, David's former partner,
Giles.
And he seems not quite right at all.
At all.
At all. Like, there is
just a little too far gone.
There is something broken in his head, and I don't know what it is, but what I do know is I do not want to be in a room with him. That's what I know. It's like, I look and I'm like, nah, I'm good. He tells her they responded to a disturbance call at the hospital. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until they heard a noise deeper inside, so they went to go investigate. He explains that they split up. Oh, he can't explain. Yeah, he can't explain why they split up because there's no fucking reason for you to split up.
Yeah.
You're in a spooky place. You don't know what's going on. Yeah, like, that's fucking dumb. When asked if anybody else was in there, he said yes, a head, the mannequin head. It didn't look like a real human head. Then he starts to freak out, falls off the couch, grabbing his gun and pointing it at Sarah. He begins to mumble something, then pulls the trigger. The gun is empty, and then leaves. Now, I wrote something in here that this was, I'm sure all these people probably know each other. They've probably worked together before. I haven't looked into everything. I know that the director and the star Sarah have at least worked on one other film. I think this was the first film they worked on. And then after this, I think it was that movie Dead Wave. Right? I think that's what it was called.
Dead Wave? I don't think I've seen that yet.
Yeah. But okay, if this was filmed probably 2021, right? Because it came out in I don't know the turnaround really.
But it's the earliest.
Yeah, because when I see this scene, I get nervous. Because the dude is pointing a gun at someone's face. So I would not be comfortable with this. Too many people have died, especially just recently. The cinematographer that died on the set of Alec Baldwin's movie, where she was accidentally shot and killed while filming a scene like this. So it's like, no, please don't point a gun at me, whether it's unloaded or not. Please don't. Gun safety. It's gun safety.
Too many variables.
They leave. Sarah collects herself in her car and she starts chugging some water. That's clearly not water. There's no possible way that is water. But at the same time, she's drinking it in a way like it. I talked to the wife about this. Even if you were a hardcore alcoholic, she had like
you still can't just swallow it like that.
She had like what, a bottle of vodka in the
I think it's what it looked
right
like.
It was clear booze. That's still gonna burn.
Yes.
Like you can't just chug that like it's water. That's not, it doesn't matter. You could be like
human being
on your fifth liver from alcohol, you know, like no. You can't just chug it. That shit's gonna burn. You're gonna like make a wince face. Something's gonna happen. Like it's, so it was like, at first I was like, oh, maybe that is
bullshit.
Water. You know, yeah. But it was like, I was kind of like, you know,
but it insinuated that it wasn't.
Maybe it's water. But then later on, you see her go and fill up her water bottle with vodka. So it's like that was booze that she's chugging, which then makes it completely unrealistic that she's just sitting there chugging half a bottle of water, you know, without making a face.
Here, we're not really gonna like debate the realism in this.
I am, because that's my job, sir. It's your job to convince me otherwise.
We know it's not right. Oh well, I actually like it. I mean, I really do like the movie. It's not that bad of a movie.
No, I won't lie. I like the movie too. I've seen it a couple of times. It's good. The script needs to be tightened up, but yeah, you know. But, you know, we'll get into stuff later. We then get to hear a 911 recording of someone reporting screams coming from the hospital at like 3 a.m.
Fucking 3 a.m.
When they say they'll send a squad car, she informs them that there's already a cop car there. So I'm assuming that this is probably the night that David went missing.
Yeah. Well, at least that's what they make you think.
I could swear I hear cats meowing.
Yeah, so you have 1 million cats now.
I know. So they go to interview the old lady that placed the call. She feels like she's being treated as a suspect. She gives Sarah the recording to listen to herself, and the lady says that she goes for walks late at night because of insomnia. Who?
You don't go late at night. What woman says I'm going to go late at night walking? I don't even do that as a man. You mean to tell me you're comfortable as a woman, which is known to be raped or beaten or mugged in the middle of the night? That's not happening.
Especially like your walking path is an abandoned
like
hospital.
Places women get raped on.
You know, but it's like you're walking past an abandoned like hospital that's supposed to be haunted, that you know people like break into. Like you're not walking there. Like stop it. That's so fucking dumb. That's why I was suspect of her, that maybe she's setting all this shit up for people to get caught and everything. After listening to the recording,
she lures them in.
Yeah, she's confused as to why the cops wouldn't want to fully investigate the hospital. I don't know, man.
Because they've probably been there 1 million times.
Yeah, it's like, how many cops did they probably lose? I don't know, man. She tells Sarah that it happens around witching hour, and Sarah becomes utterly confused. She doesn't know what witching hour is. Lady, you are far too old to have no clue what witching hour is. Like, I know this is all probably just for like the dum-dums that like don't know stuff. It's like, haha, movie. It's kind of like with air conditioners where they got to put tassels on the end of air conditioners so that it's like you go, hey, the air conditioner's on. Yeah, it's dumb, but it's such a stupid line. It's such a stupid conversation that they're having, and I wish that whole thing was fucking cut. They decide to go to the hospital that night and see if they can hear that sound. When Sarah throws an audible and asks if they want to try to get inside, the camera dude is like, "A-okay, buddy, let's try to get in that hospital." They're stopped by, I don't think a cop. I think originally it's probably like a night guard, but then they are
probably a groundskeeper.
Yeah, then they do run to the car, and I guess she tries to speed away or something, but I feel like she got in the car and then there's just flashing lights. I don't know if they ever got to driving or whatever. But they gave her a ticket for criminal trespassing. I don't know why it would be criminal trespassing. It's an abandoned building, but whatever. And a fine of $2,000. So she decides to get drunk and just quit the whole thing. None of it matters anymore. And I was right. This is the point where she's pouring booze into the water bottle.
Yeah.
She kicks the film crew out, and again, the camera gets all glitchy. We cut to Sarah upside down, talking all edgy, like in the saddest way, about how they fucked up and she's never gonna give up until she finds the truth, because the truth is hers. She has no life, no shame. And then she passes out puking on the floor, and this is where I almost puked, because her puking on the floor was fucking disgusting. It was gross. In the edit, I will put in it. That was the what?
And you don't do good with those kind of scenes?
I don't mind like puking scenes when it's like it's done for comedic effect, but it's like she passed out and she's like and then it just like it like and just like comes out and I was like, oh no. No, just the way, like, it wasn't like a spurt, like, puking. It was more like a real puke where it was like all booze and
some good some good acting.
No, it's gross. 2 weeks later, am I frozen? Still not frozen.
Are you frozen? Okay. Fuck no. Are you?
Yeah. 2 weeks later, a video filmed inside Yorktown Hospital titled "The Cage" is leaked online. Again, they put it as leaked online. Why?
Yeah, it's not leaked. It's just
why
online.
Is it leaked? They put it online.
Nobody leaks anything. It's not fucking 1990.
It's just put
on dial-up.
It's like, God damn it, man.
No one's hacking servers to put on fucking memes. Okay, memes are there.
Fucking hackers fucking hack the planet.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god.
God damn it, I love that
Dude
movie.
at work thinks I'm hacking to find out people's pay grade. yeah, okay. That's what I'm doing at home on my day off when I'm sick of the fucking dog. I'm hacking to find out what you make per hour.
Fucking
swear.
Listening to him say that, I'm just picturing him with like a fucking what is the phone? Jitterbug.
A rotary
with a jitterbug phone. You know, like the big fucking numbers. There's no internet to it.
Yeah,
it's like he's hacking. It's like, all right, he's got a smartphone and he plays computer games. Fucking moron. God, you work with dumb fucking people.
Loosely.
Yeah.
I was like, you put way too much faith in what you think I know.
But yeah, so this video is uploaded. Audio is heavily distorted. But you can see a young girl walking through the hospital, and the camera person like looks away for a minute, and then she's gone. At first, I thought this was Sarah, because you never see the girl. Sarah's a girl. Okay.
Yeah, but not younger, like that young.
I mean, from the back, they all look the same. That's a joke. Oh. I like how deflated you sounded when I said you can't tell their age when looking from behind. You don't know.
Well, yeah, that's true. You can't tell someone's age from behind.
Yeah, and it's like right now her hair isn't that long. I think that girl had really long hair, but it could have just been her in a wig luring someone else in there to get, like, you don't know. But it's not. It's some girl and some guy. The cameraman continues to search for the girl inside of a creep and finds her inside of a creepy room. He calls out for her until she lunges at him with a demonic face, and the video cuts out. After seeing this, Sarah calls the film crew to continue the documentary. I like that this is all that it took. She sees this like, we gotta go back.
We gotta make sure we get him.
She gets a call from Giles. Every time I see it, I want to say Giles. Wait, is his name Giles? No, his name is Giles, right? She calls him Giles.
Giles.
Right?
Giles. I don't think it's Giles.
Wait, Giles or Giles?
It looks like Giles.
But that's how you spell Giles. You know how Texas pronounces things fucking wrong.
Yeah. I don't know how the pronouncing of that name might be the.
How do they pronounce Manchek? Manchaka? You remember?
They pronounce dumb. Well, it's better than elementary. They say elementary up here, and I'm like, what word are you saying?
You mean
what are you fucking Sherlock Holmes? Elementary? Oh no, it's elementary. Elementary school. What? What was that word? Elementary? What?
Yeah, elementary.
They make up their own shit up here. I swear to God. Keep going. I'm just getting a drink.
So she gets a call from her husband's former partner, because her husband is gone, and he has info that he wants to give her about everything that happened. So he's like, come over. So she heads over to his house, and the film crew is in tow, and then she just barges into his house. It's like, open the door, right in, only to find him dead in the reclining chair holding David's radio.
Well, that makes sense. You didn't see that one coming?
Yeah, the crew wants to call it in, and she says fuck it, and that they can figure this out on their own. Woman,
you still gotta call in a dead person.
Woman,
especially a dead cop.
They will. You know what they'll figure out? They'll figure out that you did it.
That's exactly what would happen. Because you didn't fucking say anything.
You barged into this motherfucker's house. You've been harassing him, and then your prints are on fucking everything. You touched everything. On top of that, you removed evidence from a crime scene, and you have it on camera. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, so many people filming their fucking stupid
ass. Oh my god, that's
what
happens growing up in like technology. The age of technology and having fucking high resolution cameras on you at all time.
I'm fucking glad we didn't have this shit growing up.
I mean, we're still bad with it, but we're not, as bad as kids today. Oh god, that sounds so fucking
we're old. Yeah, it's just and it is a whole different time period.
Back in my day, we had beepers, and when it went off, you had to go find a payphone and call it in.
Payphone, and hope you had a fucking nickel. Remember that when they were a nickel, and then they went up to 25 cents?
Oh god, yeah,
I remember that.
We're fucking old. I found out what fucking what is it? Metro cards cost now. And I was like, that's insane.
Dude, they're expensive.
That's insane. Like I remember when it was
expensive.
When it was $1.25, and when you had the school bus pass, it was like 75 cents.
Yeah.
Everything, and it's like it's not that anymore.
So express passes are a lot.
Yeah, so they go to do that. What did she do? Yeah, it's crime scene. So they go back to her place and question why he still had the husband's radio and he didn't turn it in. I don't fucking know. They're like, well, why did he do this? And then they never answer it. So I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't.
There's a lot of things they bring up and then just go, whatever. She listens to a tape that's already in a tape recorder, and Giles is talking to someone, and it's weird. There's sort of like weird sounds, and then like in the tape recorder, I don't feel like it's voices. Like it sounds like at first it's voices, and then it's just weird sounds, and then she gets freaked out and throws the recorder on the floor. Finds a piece of paper with a phone number on it.
Dun dun dun.
This is what happens when you write shit. When did I message you? I finished this at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yesterday. Yeah.
I wrote the phone on the phone. Tells her
the phone on the phone.
The man on the phone from the number that she called, that she found on the piece of paper, says he copied all the footage of police body cams because when her husband disappeared, the head honchos at the precinct came in and wiped the servers. He tells her to come and meet him at a location alone. We already know that she's not going to come alone because then there'd be no reason to this movie. There needs to be someone with the camera recording everything. So, that's going to happen. The film crew is waiting in the car while she goes to meet the guy. He hands her a container and tells her the truth is there, but it'll be hard to find. And then he leaves. And then that's just that. Again, back at Sarah's house, they look in the container and find a ton of memory cards with thousands of hours of body cam footage. Okay. Now, did you see that container with thousands of hours of like
yes,
of worth of memory cards?
Of hard drive.
That is what the Andy Baker tapes should have done. We found 3 memory cards with 18 hours of high def footage. No,
that doesn't make sense.
No. You would be looking at a folder like that.
Yes.
Yes. That's what you would be looking at. Get out of here.
I was like, I don't know where you guys are getting this hard drives from, but we certainly need the same ones you guys are using.
No. She checks out a random video, and it's a house that has nothing to do with this hospital. And a cop is exploring the property, responding to a call, and ends up. I think the cop is killed, right? In the first video.
What do you mean?
He looks. I think this is the one where he sees a car. No, I think that's David's. That there's a car. There's a house. The cop goes in to look, and he hears I think the sound of a girl screaming or something. And then there's a dude there, and then the dude lunges at him, and then the video cuts out. And I'm pretty sure that cop died. But then it's well, why the fuck aren't the cops doing anything to investigate that? That doesn't make any sense. One of the files is from 3 days before David goes missing. In his body cam video, he's checking out an abandoned car and hears a scream. He enters the house to find out what's going on, and some muscle man in a devil's mask approaches him with a knife. David orders him to drop the knife, and when he doesn't, he shoots him.
He fucking shoots him. What they do?
What with the saying "fuck around, find out"? It's he tells you to drop it.
Yeah.
You decided to
drop it. You had a 50-50 shot with the knife, and then you have a 50-50 shot without the knife. You got to pick one of them, brother.
Yeah. But when he shoots the dude, David falls to the ground, and when he gets up, the guy is gone. So he looks around for the guy. He ends up finding him outside without his mask on, bleeding to death.
Crawling.
He finds a woman bound and dead with a symbol carved on her back, and Sarah pauses the videotape and asks the film crew to pull up the footage from the night they tried to break into the hospital. And in that footage, the same symbol that's on the girl's back is also on the hospital wall. But here's what I don't understand.
And she does make reference about it.
Yeah, but they're not recording this on the same fucking SD card. I'm sure like the people dumped the footage.
No.
So why are you doing a rewind motion on the footage like you're doing it from the camera? You just pull it. You cut to them pulling up the footage. Like that's all that. Like why are you doing that weird fucking rewind? Fuck. There's no reason to do that. But they are also completely forgetting to mention that same symbol was on Giles's wall.
Yes.
It was above his head. They never fucking mentioned that. Ever.
There's a lot of like gaps in the story for this thing.
Yeah, it's like, well, you pulled up the fucking the hospital footage. Well, how about you pull up the footage when you found the fucking dead body? You pull that one up too and see the same fucking thing. Because for me, that would sync up a lot more stuff. That it's like all of this shit is connected. Like there's something to do with this symbol and people dying. Yeah. So Sarah Google searches for the police incident and finds a news article about a murder-suicide on that specific night. So she finds an article about that night, a murder-suicide. The guy in the article is the same guy her husband shot and killed, which confuses her because he didn't commit suicide. He was shot to death. That should be confusing. I don't know why you would comment that you're confused by it, you know?
A lot of these just lack someone going over the script, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because I actually like this movie.
Yeah.
It's just if they went over it a little bit better with script wise, it would be perfect.
Yeah. What is it? So she again uses Google on the guy's name and finds a blog, I think a blog / spiritual retreat thing or whatever, run by a Benny Palejo. This also confuses her because she seems to not realize that people could be twins, just plain old related, and like kind of look the same.
Oh,
but
yeah,
she's drunk.
Very true.
So
no, of course.
So we can.
Everyone looks like everyone has a double. Then, yeah.
Yeah. She calls the number and Benny picks up. She asks if he's related to Don, and he says that's his brother, but he hasn't spoken to him in many years. He agrees to meet with her tomorrow, and the film crew leaves and meets back at her house in the morning. However, she's sleeping on a trailer. Is she even living in a house, or is she living in a storage unit?
I don't know.
I'm very confused.
She constantly doesn't look like she has a house.
Like, did like her husband go missing, and then like she sold everything and moved into a fucking storage unit?
She might have.
Because like, she says
have that happen to them.
She says she's paying the film crew, even though it's a person. You know, so that's where I was like, I don't understand. Like, you're not showing me enough of like what her life is like now. That it's like you're with her. It's always like a shot from a certain area, but then in that same area, there's a what is it? A trailer hitch? Just a trailer bed? I don't fucking know. But it's not like a full-on trailer. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna throw some fucking tools in there and drag it behind my pickup type bullshit. But she's sleeping on it, but I think there's also like a dresser on it. So I'm very confused with this whole situation. Like, I don't understand any of this. She meets with Benny, and they talk for a while. He doesn't believe that his brother killed himself, more that he believes he got tangled up in the darker side of spirituality because it's in their blood, you see.
Yeah,
that's his words. That's his words, not mine.
That they said that.
I'm not implying anything by the dude being possibly Native American. I think that's what he was supposed to be.
I think they were supposed to be Native American.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, because it's in our blood. And I'm like, that's cringy. Oh, that's so cringy. He believes that this is happening because all of the land of Yorktown, all the land that Yorktown is built on is hexed land. And I was like, yeah, all right, like, sure. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm kind of over the whole like Indian burial ground like bullshit. It's like,
well, it's been in like all of them throughout the years, so.
I do get what like people.
I get what they're saying, but it's like, okay, we've done it. So just like video games have to do with any kind of military, it's always Russian.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you can make up? Can you make up anything other than the same fucking protagonist?
Then you have the brown people. Don't forget,
but
it's
they
either
don't
Russians
make
or the brown
games.
Yeah,
they don't make the games of it. They made one, and it was like, and they still try to go back to it, and it's so boring.
What you didn't
It's
like
just like
when
movies.
You didn't like when they decided to take Resident Evil in a whole new direction. Instead of having them walk around killing just like zombies, you take them to like an African country and just have a white guy run around killing black people.
Oh my god, yeah. It was just weird.
But it's okay because he has a black partner. like what?
They made it more parasitic too. And I was like, bro, where are you guys going with this? No one saw this as an issue?
Yeah, no. Apparently not.
Fucking Chris Redfield.
Nobody had an issue until he was standing there punching a fucking boulder on top of a volcano.
A boulder and shit. That was a terrible
That's when they had a problem.
Terrible
now,
time.
At any point during their whole conversation, Sarah could have said that like she knows that he didn't kill himself because her husband killed him. But she already said he was a cop that disappeared at Yorktown Memorial, so I can see how this would now be a little weird to bring up that like your husband killed this dude and then went missing.
Killed this dude and yeah.
She shows him the symbol and he says it belongs to something called the Red Witch. He asks her to meet again. I don't think that night. I think another night.
No, Thursday. I think he said on Thursday. Something like that. Yeah.
But before she leaves, he hands her a tape and tells her to watch it. The tape is about the Red Witch. Apparently, he just has DVDs made of this. Like, sorry, not DVDs. I apologize.
Yeah, like
VHS tapes.
videos. Yeah.
It's like, all right, this is a weird way to do like an info dump. Like, like, all right, it's kind of
it was all well done and everything.
They do the same thing with the Yorktown Memorial video a little later. It's like, well, here's like an info dump. It's like, we don't want to film the shit, so like here's this that just kind of talks about it. It's like, all right, whatever, man. Yeah, so the tape is about the Red Witch. It gives you all the info you need on it before, I believe, the tape like hard ejects itself out of the VCR. And then Sarah and the film crew arrive at the ceremony. She brought David's work radio as a personal item needed for the ceremony, and he begins. After a while, static is heard on the radio. This makes her a little confused and worried. And then a voice comes through, and I believe it says Sarah a couple of times. And then because Sarah's a fucking maniac piece of shit that doesn't listen and has no patience, she grabs the walkie the second she hears her name and starts
screaming into it like a fucking madman.
Yeah,
that's it. Let's piss off the ghost some more and shit.
Exactly. And then what happens? Poor Benny gets possessed or something. And then instead of trying to help him, Sarah and the camera guy just book it. They just fucking leave. The guy's like sitting there being possessed, and they're like, "Nah, we're good. We're gonna leave." As they're driving away, they spot Benny just walking down the driveway and stop screaming for him to get in the car. As Benny ignores them and walks away, a Party City ass looking skeleton glove reaches in and grabs Sarah's throat. What was this? What was that glove?
I don't know because But what I don't understand with the scene is it grabs her, but no, do we not address it? What was it? She would, and then next she doesn't talk. How'd she live? What was that?
I don't know.
Like what did she live from? Were you attacked? Was it a glove? With dumbest shit ever?
Yeah, I don't know. But they get away and go back to Sarah's shack, I guess. I don't want to call it a house because we have not seen a house.
An actual like stable place.
We've seen a wall with a trailer in it and a dresser on that trailer with a sleeping bag and not a mattress. So I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
The film crew informs us that it's been 4 hours since the incident and Sarah hasn't spoken to them. Also, since she heard the voice, she's become obsessed with the radio. They candidly catch her whispering into the radio. She tells them she's gonna need some time, and they keep recording her as she does some weird art house performance of.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's hacking up a lung or cackling or screaming like a psycho.
I don't know.
Like it was like.
But it sounds like a banshee. Yeah,
it's like, what is that?
I thought maybe because she was frustrated, maybe she was like screaming out, but none of it makes any sense.
I don't know.
And it's
No,
never
fucking no.
addressed.
It's just, it was super
Nobody
weird.
goes,
And
hey, you know, are you okay? No,
no one walks in
nothing
and taps
said.
her on the shoulder like, you should calm down. Like,
Yeah, we're
pump
gonna
the
need
brakes a little
you
bit.
to add like a 2. You've been at a 10.
Yeah, you're at an 11. We need you, dude. That was the notes I tried to give the actor on my short film, where
Really?
every line he delivered, he was like screaming it, and I'm like, bro, you're at 11. You need to be at a 2.
We need to be at a 2.
Like-
Like your exclamation marks are in the wrong spot, bro.
Or if this was happening to you in real life,
Would you be this
would you be
loud?
screaming like that? And he was like, no. And I was like, then don't do it
you
here.
gotta calm it down.
Don't do it here. Bring it down. What do we got? Oh, this is where footage goes staticky, and then it cuts to a video documentary of Yorktown Memorial Hospital. I don't know why they decided to put this in. I don't care. It's just a thing. They're, like I said before, I don't know if this is Sarah narrating it or if it's a different woman that we don't know that's never been introduced, or where they even got this footage. Like, was this documentary crew do it? Like, none of this makes sense. It shouldn't have been there, or at least it should have been in the beginning, and the woman doing the voice should have been like our
introing to the whole entire movie.
Yeah, kind of like. Okay.
Or how about we need some sort of like stability in this?
So yeah, so you've seen Wreck, right?
Oh God, a long time ago though.
But remember how there was the camera guy, and then there was the the camera guy, and there was the reporter, and then there were the other people. I feel like this would have been better if, especially coming up to this point, that the woman that's speaking is the woman, like, producer slash other face of the documentary. It's like that's her camera guy, and they're recording everything. So it's like she would be essentially like the reporter character, and the subject is Sarah and everything else that's happening, which is essentially what this is. The subject is Sarah and her missing husband and trying to figure out what happened. But
yeah,
you don't have that, like, that voice of reason, so that when she's having those breakdowns, someone can like go up and be like, hey, like, are you all right, and talk to her. Their whole thing is like, she didn't talk to us for 6 days, and then when it comes back,
no one
Sarah's more of a
checks on
fucking
her.
psycho. Like,
yeah, because you left her alone.
like, we're supposed to care about the protagonist, and Sarah is kind of just crazy the whole time, and there's no one else there to be like, hey, this is kind of weird. It's just like Sarah's crazy, but they're keeping secrets, and then you go to someone else and it's like, oh, he's crazier, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. So it's just, and then you can be like, well, the camera guy is like the voice of reason. Motherfucker doesn't talk.
But he doesn't do anything.
So he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He just goes, fuck, what is it? Yeah. Because I think I have it written, the film crew informs us that it's been 4 hours since the incident and Sarah hasn't spoken to them. Because I'm pretty sure in it, he wrote, like, the camera person, I don't know if it's male or female, wrote, hasn't spoken to us. So that implies that there's more people.
The people in the crew.
Yeah, but we're not seeing any of them. So that's where it's like, if you had that, whoever did the voiceover for the Yorktown Memorial video that was cut in, should have been like the person that was like the other on-camera thing that's like kind of like, hey, we need to kind of rein this in a little bit. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
I love the way you said that. Hey,
about that. But yeah, so where are we? Yeah, so we get this weird fucking thing. 6 days later, Sarah reaches out and says that she recorded something she wants to show them, and wants to meet up with them. She apparently recorded his voice.
Yeah.
Did you hear a voice? Because I didn't hear a voice.
I didn't hear anything, to be honest.
So the fact
and I'm
that
pretty sure they say
didn't-
the same thing, don't they?
I don't know, that they don't say anything. The film crew wasn't around when this voice was supposedly heard.
Of course.
And then when we listen to it, it's like there's like a growling or something, but there's no voice. Why are they acting like this shit is real and she didn't just like sit in a corner and go
Because it would end the whole documentary, whatever the fuck they're attempting to do.
But it's like, even if they had been like, that's kind of fucking sus. Like, I don't believe any of this shit. I believe the next thing they're doing is they go back to the hospital. So she could have easily just been like, you don't believe me? You don't believe? Fine, let's go to the hospital and I'll prove it to you.
Hospital and find out. Yeah.
And then there's like a reason for them to go to the hospital. Instead, you have her being like, look, see, I recorded this. You weren't here. You didn't see that I had the radio. And then, but I have it and it's real. Don't question this. It's real. I recorded it from this. I didn't fake it. I'm not faking it. This isn't fake news. It's real. That's essentially what happened. And you're just like, you're sitting there and you're like, nah, this bitch is crazy. And she's recorded it herself. That's why she keeps fucking sitting there going, David, are you there, David? Like, what do you do? You're fucking weird. You need to be in therapy. What the fuck is going on? And the fact that we don't have someone there that's be like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
It's
no one, not one person that's there.
It leaves like a bad taste in my mouth. And I like this movie. That's the weird thing, because like it could be so much better. I think Sarah went crazy and is just hearing bullshit. They do say that people that are really, really want something will end up making themselves think that it's there. Yeah. She tells them if they come with her one last time to Yorktown, just record everything, just as one last time, she'll pay them double what she agreed to pay them, and they'll never hear from her again. I'm fairly certain she, like, after he went missing, she like sold everything. I was like, bye house. It's like, we don't need it.
No money. Yeah, she ain't paying nobody back. Fuck that.
I guess they're broke because it's almost 3 a.m. Witching hour. And they're back outside the hospital. They're just walking around. Sarah's using her phone as a flashlight, but it's doing absolutely nothing because this camera has a giant ass fucking light on it. The fuck are you coming in with your little pissant fucking light? Doesn't even look like it's on. Meanwhile, the camera has a light that's just shining, lighting up everything. She comments that her phone still says 5 to 3, even though they've been walking around for about an hour, and they hear the sounds of keys jangling and a door either locking or unlocking. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's what is it? I think it's called the 360 rule. No, the 180 rule. I think that's what it's called. It's called the 180 rule. So you see where they're standing, right? So it's like they're standing here. I got to make sure that like that camera catches it. You can see my finger, right? They're here. The camera guy turns because they hear jangling over here. So then they
still see it.
What? Well, no. So
then you would be able to see it if you're that close.
They have to go down to see what it is. But then when it cuts to like what they found, it's now over here and they're standing here. That's you flip the line. You're not supposed to do that. That makes it all of a sudden confusing.
Oh.
If they walk this way, then the next shot is them over here. You don't go, okay, we're walking this way. Like, you don't do that. And it was one of those, I was like, so were they walking towards a door that unlocked, but then went to a door,
maybe
the front door that was locked? Or did they walk towards that front door? That was the door that they heard the noise from, and it's locked now. That confused the fuck out of me.
But they never explain it. It, though.
That's why we need those dumb things like the tassels on an air conditioner to let you know, like, hey, the air conditioner's turned on. They turn around after investigating, and the door's locked, and now there's water bottles on the ground that are leading to a new room with a bunch of cassette tapes. As they're listening to the tapes, it's revealed to be a session between an unknown woman and Sarah. And guess who sounds like a psychopath? Sarah.
The fucking Sarah.
Apparently, she's never been married. It's all a delusion. The unknown woman asks if maybe it's just, missing a former lover. Then asks her if she's a whore. If she's a woman of sin. Okay.
Aren't we all?
Sarah tells her, she tells Sarah that whores go to hell and that they suffer in pain and darkness for all eternity. Tape Sarah tells her she'd rather be in hell. And then Sarah goes crazy, destroying the tape player, as I think I think it's the unknown woman on the tape is cackling. I don't know if it's tape Sarah or the woman on the unknown woman on the tape cackling. Someone does cackling as she's destroying it. 30 minutes past, the title card comes up and it's like 30 minutes pass and Sarah says nothing. It's like, sure. It's a whole lot of that.
Of nothing.
Yeah. It's just a black card. Church bells start ringing and Sarah checks her phone. It's finally 3 a.m. Walking around a little bit more, the radio starts to make some noise and Sarah quickly pulls it out and starts calling for David because she doesn't know how to just chill, to just take it down a notch. It's like she's always at like the level of manic,
10.
and it's like she's right at the cusp of manic, or she's fucking flying past that road bump of it. She's then standing up against the wall, whispering into the radio. That's fucking weird.
Hey,
that's some weird fucking behavior. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
and no one told her, like, hey, listen, you need to cut this shit out.
No. I guess they just want their money. But then as she's whispering, she does the creepiest turnaround when she's like staring at them, and it's like, fuck you, bitch. Like, you look like you're about to eat my face. That's when they hear another radio faintly, only to go, then they go to run and find it, and they're being stared down by a flashlight and a cop in the hallway. It's Giles, but it's not Giles.
It's fucking weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I forget what it's called. I forget
timeline, a linear flash or something.
I'm trying to remember what the ghost phenomenon
name
of it is called, where
tracing
it's just like,
or something.
Yeah, it's like where a moment in time just loops.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
Yeah, and it's the moment when David is freaked out by the mannequin head, and not David. Giles is freaked out by the mannequin head, and then goes running to find David. What is it? So that happens. They don't find Giles when they go chasing him, but they do find David beaten and bloody. He's acting weird and screams and then grabs her water and starts to chug it. I hope this time it was water.
Yeah,
or was that her water? Was that just water that's in the hospital? Was that her
water that had fucking vodka or some shit?
Yeah. He tells them that she's coming as growls and screams are heard. Sarah yells at them to turn off the lights, but then keeps screaming. She's coming, or it's coming. Growl, growl. Turn off the lights. You have to turn off the lights. Lights are turned off. No, we have to be quiet.
Still gonna die.
Where is David? It's like, why are you still yelling?
You're still yelling if you just
we're supposed to be hiding. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, so then David runs away. They're basically like, hey, I think this is the first time the camera guy talks. They're like, we need to get the fuck out of here. She's like, I'm not leaving without my husband. So I don't remember if she takes the camera or if they're like, fuck it, fine, here, and they just give her the camera. But she now has the camera and she runs into the chapel to find the Red Witch killing and feeding on David.
Go into the chapel.
Oh God, that's if you want, I can sing that song from yesterday.
Oh, that one. Oh, that was funny.
But yeah, so she sees David being killed, and then she very quickly turns around and runs away without checking on him. Apparently, she is okay with leaving without David.
I was gonna say, I gotta check on David. We gotta find David. Nope, David, you're on your own, bro. Sorry, dude.
I'm done.
Later.
I'm done. Goodbye.
It was a nice journey. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So she leaves. She runs upstairs to hide, and the Red Witch finds her. She runs again, this time making it to the front door. Before she can get out, though, the Red Witch grabs her leg and drags her back in. The next morning, the crew go back to find no signs of Sarah or David, but find their camera heavily damaged. While making the documentary, they found more of David's body cam footage on Sarah's computer. So, after Sarah disappeared, they just went back to her place and helped themselves to her shit.
Shit, yeah, because that's what friends do.
Yeah, so now they took her shit. It's like, fuck, man. No one is worried about chain of evidence bullshit.
Yeah,
the body cam shows.
Watch.
Yeah, the body cam shows that at 3 a.m. the church bells went off. So David went to the chapel as Giles went to go check down the hallway, and then David was locked inside the chapel. And as he's trying to get out, the Red Witch is like seen on his body cam lunging. Cut to another title card where it says a week before they went to deliver the film, like the final version of the film, the 911 woman sent them a message. It was a video she took the night before, and someone, most likely Sarah, is standing looking out the upstairs window of the hospital, and it just keeps zooming in until obviously we can't make out her face because it's night and blurry and on a video, and then it just cuts to black camera. And that is the end of the last radio call, right? Last radio call. For some reason it went last radio broadcast, but that's the end. That is the end of the last radio call. Fun facts.
All right,
we actually have some.
Oh wow, it's been a while.
The last radio call was based on director Isaac Rodriguez's 2016 viral short film Cop Cam. However, he didn't want the whole film to just be from a body cam because, as he put it, it could get old after a while. Even though in his film Uninvited Guests, the entire thing takes place through a Ring door cam. Right? It's just a Ring door cam that everything's like ding dong, or people, it's like, so he probably learned from that and be like, yeah, people don't want to deal with that. So he took additional information from the Japanese found footage film Nori the Curse because it had more of an investigation aspect to it. So that's where that came from, but then he didn't flesh out the rest of it. The Red Sisters were a completely original creation by the film director.
Oh, okay.
While filming, and I think
it didn't have like a lore or nothing like that.
Yeah,
that was actually something that was made up.
And I think he said he is trying to plan something more with the Red Sisters. While filming a different short film at the Black Swan Inn, it's a haunted mansion in San Antonio, the owner told him that they also own the Yorktown Memorial Hospital. Apparently, they really like collecting haunted places. Those are my type of people. When filming in the hospital began, the owner told them that local kids had been known to sneak in at night and harass ghost hunters by screaming and banging on windows, making noises to scare people, and that if they hear anyone banging on windows, to just call the cops. Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of the ghosts? Like you're there to ghost hunt, you hear noises. Now you can't trust anything that's happening
investigate. There. Yeah, it's all fake anyways.
The director said that filming at the hospital was stressful because he had filmed about 25 pages in one night, and one page usually equals about 1 minute. And they also had to deal with the possibility of kids sneaking in and terrorizing them. So while trying to balance all these things, you got to worry about like that shit. But that is everything I have. So what I like about it is I like a lot of the cinematography. I like the direction that they were trying to go. I don't think they fully hit the mark. It was missing. It was, like I said before, it was missing that stabilizing element, like with the camera person not saying a goddamn word and the person that you're supposed to be rooting for being fucking manic the entire goddamn time. Like you just don't want to fucking deal with it. You're like, I
can see what you mean. I can see what you mean by that. Like I agree too. Like it was a good film. I mean, they could have redone the script for it to be better. And like I agree with you with the whole entire putting her as your person to go to, because she doesn't have anything going for her. She is extremely she's nuts. So it makes it very hard to relate to her or be like, hey, do I really want to find this David person? What's she gonna do? Kill him anyways? Because that's what gave me this creepy vibes. Like,
well, because it's hard to have sympathy for her, right? Because the whole time she's very aggro and she's coming at people fucking hard, where it's like you're not even giving other people a chance to speak. You're just like trying to ram it down their fucking throat, And then at the end, you get that video, not the video, you get like the tape of her in a session where it's like she's never been married, none of that's real. So now you're like, wait a second, is this chick just fucking delusional?
She made this whole thing up. We're in her head.
And then they go look, and then they find David, and you're like, wait, is she really married to David? Like, is that real, or is he just someone else that she lured in
and killed and came up with this whole thing?
Yeah, like none of this is explained. So it's
Inception shit.
Yeah, you're throwing like way too much like shit at a wall, hoping something will stick, and it's too many different things that maybe your second or third pass of this script could have like kind of fleshed it out and be like, no, we don't need that. But then you run into the fact of them doing more, and then it's like, okay, well, we'll just throw out black things being like, hey, she didn't speak to us for like a week. And it's like, well, then why even fucking show it, man? Like, like what the fuck is the point of this? I did not like Sarah.
No,
I didn't like the performance. I didn't like any of it. But what sucks is there's no one else.
No.
What is there? The shaman?
And because nobody talks during it.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan? Dan guy?
Was his name Dan? No, Benny.
Benny. That's it.
You know, like he's in it for like 30 seconds, so he doesn't fucking like no.
Count.
The husband or his partner, you don't fucking care about them. They're not in it long enough to give a shit about them. The cop that told them to get off their property, he was like a one note fucking thing. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. You know, then there's like the hot old lady that was like, oh yeah, I have insomnia and go walking. That's fucking weird. That doesn't make sense.
I put myself in danger every night.
Yeah. So it's like the camera person, I don't think they say anything until the absolute end of the movie where they're like, I'm out of here. And that's it. So it's like, who are you supposed to root for in this? Because even if you're supposed to root for Sarah, she dies. So it's like, there's nothing. So it's like, I just don't care. Go away. So it's like, there's no one here that like you give a shit about. And it kind of sucks. Like the film needed someone else there to be us. Like the camera person isn't us, because we're sitting there looking at it and be like, no, I don't need the fucking money.
They don't even speak. They don't even give you any human interaction.
So it's like, there's not that. But like, I really did like the cinematography. I think the what they did with it between body cam and then like the actual like cameras and stuff, the location.
But they
I fucking love that hospital. It needed a little bit more. I would have liked to see more of the Red Witch.
Yes.
You made it like such an important thing, and then there's nothing.
Yeah, considering we're basing all of this around it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Like, what would you give this?
I would definitely give it a 3. I liked it. I'd give it a 3-4, but I can minimize it down to 3.
How many times do you think you could sit down and watch this?
Oh, I watched it twice today.
Oh, you watch it just twice today?
Yeah, and one that other day. I could use this like a Hell House. It's not that bad at all.
Yeah, I could honestly like I said. I like the film. Like I don't. It's like I've probably. I've probably seen this.
Come on, you get it out.
Like 5 or 6 times already.
Oh, okay. So I'm not far behind you.
Yeah, like I like the film. I think the director did a really, really, really good job of it, and it's little things. It's
yes.
It's just like the little things. It's
always the little things with the ones like this that could make it just a great movie.
I could definitely give this like
a 3, 4.
I would give it like a 3.5, but since we don't do halves,
we don't do halves though.
Yeah, like if definitely if like that extra character, like I said, was added as like our proxy, that's kind of saying the things that we say as we watch it, where we're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, bitch, why are you leaning against your fucking table whispering into the fucking microphone? Like, why are you being fucking weird right now?
Why are you making
There's no one there being like, hey, you're being kind of weird and we're kind of nervous around you, and like, you know, you need to stop. If they had more of that, if they had more of the Red Witch, if they didn't have that stupid fucking mannequin head that I still don't know if that's supposed to be a real head.
I thought it was supposed to be a real head. Are they implying it's a real head?
I don't know.
Makes no sense.
But it's like, if there were those things added, I could absolutely give this a 4. Absolutely. But it's just, and I do notice with each one of the films that he puts out, and he pumps out a lot of fucking films. Like, brother, reach out, please, because I want to know how the fuck you're getting the funding for all these fucking movies. Because
all these movies, scripts, and you do a lot of scripts, and
I've sold a lot of scripts. I want to move into just straight up producing and directing my own. So if you got the hookup,
hit us up,
brother. Like, help, I'll even write for you. like, but each one of his films, he seems to get better at, because like I said, the first one of his that I saw was Uninvited Guest, where everything was through, like, an entire story was told through a Ring door cam, like one of those doorbell cameras, right? Everything was done through that. And it's like he said, originally this was a short film and it was cop cam, it was like a body cam thing, and he didn't want to do full body cam for the entire movie because it gets tiring after a while. Like, no one wants to watch that. And he probably got that from Uninvited Guest. So then he upgraded a little bit, and then it became this. And then I think he did that movie Deadware, which was a Zoom thing, which kind of seems like it's a ripoff of Host and everything, where it's like the new thing is like everyone's doing these Zoom movies and everything, and it's like, that's fine, it's whatever. And then I think after that he did A Town Full of Ghosts, and that was done down at the old haunted Texas town thing, like a little while away from me. And the actors in that are fantastic. Like, it's the story of,
at least
like,
he's learning as he's going.
Yeah, that one's like the story of this YouTuber couple buying this haunted town to like rebuild and turn it into like a haunted tourist attraction, and they're filming everything and putting it on their YouTube. So it's like you can see the process of everything, and then like his brother and his brother's girlfriend come down to like help him like repair stuff, and then like all this weird shit starts to happen. It's a cool premise, but it's like, again, the what's it called? The story starts to kind of get convoluted as it goes. So it's like he's getting better with like
path.
Yeah, it's his films are getting, like, the cinematography is getting better, the acting quality is getting better, the premises one by one are getting better. It's just there's still something off, and this is like a good like thing. So I could definitely give this a 3. And if we cover more of his movies, which I think we should.
Yeah, we should.
I do think that you would enjoy them. Yeah.
I think we can do like a progression one for him.
But so next week's film is The Bell Witch Haunting. I think this was from like 2003. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked better than what the fucking movie was.
Yeah. And that is the, if I remember correctly, he gets the original Blackmagic camera. I don't remember if it was kind of the handle shaped one that's kind of like shaped how the pocket cameras are shaped, the Blackmagic pocket cameras, like pocket cinema cameras like I have, where it's like, you know, a bar, but like it has like a handle grip built in, or if he got the wedge shaped Blackmagic, because I think the wedge was the original Blackmagic camera.
Oh,
like,
an older
that people
one.
could buy. Yeah. And then came like the other one that was like smaller. And then now it's, you know, like the one I got, the Pocket 4K. But thank you everybody very much for stopping by, and we will see all of you next week.
Next
Bye.
time.